Okay, let's work a little bit more on our parabolas. This is kind of part two, and we're going to do another example. This time, we have our general form, and we're going to say, okay, what is this? What shape is it? Well, very quickly, I only have one squared term, so it is a parabola, so one squared, one isn't. Additionally, we also know that this is going to open horizontally, either like this or potentially like this, because we have y squareds, meaning 2y's for any given x value. So we know it's going to open horizontally. To put it in form, we're going to have to complete the square. Remember, the form we're looking for in this case, y minus k quantity squared equals 4p x minus h. To do that, we're going to need to complete the square. With that, we're going to get all the y's together, plus blank equals, and get all the other stuff to the other side. So I have 4x minus 10. Now, in this case, we're probably going to end up with some sort of fraction, so don't freak out. In this case, let's complete the square. Cut it in half, I get negative 2 squared, I get 4. But if I do that here, I must do that here. So remember, we balance the plus 4 on both sides. Y minus 2, the quantity squared, equals 4x minus 6. At this point, you say we're really, really close. Well, let's get that 4p by itself by factoring a 4 out. Y minus 2, the quantity squared, equals 4 parenthesis x minus. Now, if I take a 4 out of the first piece, I have to take it out of the second piece, which is going to give me negative 6 over 4, which is negative 3 over 2. It is a fraction, but it's not too bad. Now, in this case, we're going to have to graph it. Well, let's pick out the key components. Vertex is going to be at, now be careful, I wanted to write 2 comma 3 halves. The problem with that is attached to the y. I need to put the x bit first, so 3 halves comma 2 over 1, 2, so 1 1/2 would be right in here. And I'm going to go up 1, 2. There we go. Now, with this, we have the center. We also know that it's going to be going horizontally. Since there is no negative here or here, it's going to open in the standard direction out this way. Again, I have no idea how wide or skinny that is. That's an entirely separate calculation. However, I can easily tell where the focus and the directrix are. The focus is going to be 1p to the inside, and the directrix is 1p to the outside. So that's easy. If this is at 3 halves, 3 halves plus 1 equals 5 halves. So the focus is going to be 5 halves, comma, same height, 2, right here, or 2 1/2. If I want the directrix, I'm going to go p units the other way. So instead of 3 halves, I take 3 halves minus 1, and I get 1/2. And there's my directrix right there. My directrix is going to be x equals positive 1/2. Now, that's the directrix, that's the vertical line. The focus, even though I drew a line and you're looking for just the point. The vertex, that's your other key component. One other thing that most books mention is an axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry would be the line around which you can fold or balance the parabola. In this case, it's horizontal. If the parabola were vertical, the axis of symmetry would be vertical. So, with that in mind, the axis of symmetry is always going to go right down the vertex and the focus, and that's going to be at y equals 2. That's your axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. y equals 2. Now, that concludes part 2 of parabolas.